Chapter 4. Director Kim is a martial genius. 1. After confirming my location, I approached Director Kim, who was still unconscious, and shook him awake. Director Kim. Director Kim slowly got up and looked around. Deputy Manager CO, where are we now? Here. I briefly explained the situation to the director. After the hunchbacked old man had thrust us through the spatial rift, we found ourselves in this place. It seemed to be a world resembling medieval China, where martial artists really exist. So many things have happened, I can't even tell what's what anymore. Indeed, I wish someone would tell me this is all just a dream. Director Kim's face seemed to have aged 10 years in an instant. I'm not sure if it's fortunate or not having any abilities or talents. I wonder if it's good that we weren't taken by those monstrous beings, or if we were just abandoned. I had no answer for him either. In my past life, I was just an ignorant herb collector who knew nothing. Even though I had survived comfortably for 3 days with others in this life, it was all thanks to my regression. As a person, I'm not that remarkable. First, we can't stay in this alley forever. Let's go out. Okay. Director Kim and I went out to the bustling streets of Sukyung City. Sukyung City's bustling area, teeming with all kinds of people, was as crowded as a modern-day shopping district. I can't understand what they're saying. It all sounds like Chinese, and why are people glancing at us? Probably because of the clothes we're wearing. I had burned the shirt I was originally wearing at Manager Kim's farewell meal to use as fuel, so now I only had an undershirt left. Director Kim was conspicuously dressed in completely out-of-place hiking gear. This is trouble. By the way, Deputy Manager CO, do you happen to speak Chinese? Yes, fortunately, I've had Chinese language training. Listening to them, it sounds similar to a southern Chinese dialect. I think communication should be possible to some extent. Wow, that's incredibly lucky. Of course, that was a lie. The language of this world, starting from Oracle Bone script, was entirely different from Chinese. Whether it's traditional, simplified, or any regional dialects of China, they won't work here. In my past life, I had to beg and cling to nearby beggars for 2 months just to learn basic communication. I wouldn't need to do that now. But since these clothes will attract attention, let's buy new ones. How are we going to buy clothes? I doubt our money will work here. I smiled wryly and replied, money might not work, but wherever people live, medicine is needed. I entered a nearby pharmacy and sold various herbs like hemostatic herbs, warming herbs, and fever-reducing herbs. These were the most common and low-grade herbs I had gathered in Ascension Path. Of course, these herbs, having absorbed a lot of spiritual energy and not been touched by human hands for a long time in the forest, were 3 to 4 times larger than ordinary herbs, and I received a considerable amount of money from the pharmacy. Haha, Deputy Manager CO. As expected, your abilities work even here. Did you receive a lot? It seems so. Still, I frowned upon seeing the money given by the pharmacy owner. They've really undercut the price. It was because of our suspicious appearance. The herbs were large and abundant, so we received this much, but we might not have gotten anything if they were less. Of course, this amount was enough to buy new clothes. I immediately went to the most shabby-looking fabric store nearby and bought 2 sets of warm clothes. We changed into these plain-looking clothes and stepped outside. The cost of living here is immense. It seemed to be 3 to 4 times more expensive than in Lianshan City. As a result, we had to spend all the money we had. So, what now? Deputy Manager CO. Just wait a moment, Director. It seems I will need to sell more herbs. I went to another pharmacy and again sold herbs. This time, they didn't cut the price because of our suspicious appearance, but still significantly undercut the price. I once again went back to the fabric store and bought slightly better clothes, then went to another pharmacy and sold herbs again. This time, the owner of the pharmacy, seeing my clothes, bought the herbs at a proper price. For the last time, I went back to the fabric store and this time bought a silk outfit. Dressed in the new clothes, I wandered around the bustling streets of Sukyang City and entered a considerably large pharmacy to sell the yellow bamboo roots. Ah, my lord, to sell such a precious elixir to our pharmacy. The owner of the pharmacy reverently took the yellow bamboo roots from me, who was dressed in silk. In my opinion, this yellow bamboo root must be at least 800 years old. At the very least, it should fetch 10 pieces of horse-shaped silver. Of course, in fact, it should be worth 15 pieces for such quality. Right, it should be. Bring 'em quickly. I received the owner's gratitude and left the pharmacy with 15 pieces of horse-shaped silver. Hey, incredible. Deputy Manager CO. Is this all? Yes, well, there was still a few more roots of yellow bamboo left. Moreover, the one I sold was the smallest. After buying a silk outfit for Director Kim, I went to the government office, gave a bribe to an official, and obtained a residence permit. Then, after buying a small house and land on the outskirts of Sukyang City, I was left with only one piece of horse-shaped silver. Let's live here from today onwards. We've secured basic housing, and I'll teach you how to read and write, Director. Thank you, Deputy Manager CO. No, that's not right. He seemed a bit embarrassed as he spoke. Now that we're not colleagues, it doesn't seem right to call you Deputy Manager. What should I call you? Just call me by my name. Thank you, CO Yoon Hyun. We decided on the form of address and discussed our future plans. The reason we could gather such an amount of money so quickly is because we sold the herbs we gathered in the forest. If we run out of herbs, we'll have problems with food and shelter, so we need to find a way to make a living. How should we continue to make a living? How about doing business by selling herbs and buying silver? Certainly, with the substantial initial funds we now have, Director Kim Young-hoon, who was a mid-level executive in a fairly large company, should be able to do business well enough to make ends meet. But that's not enough. Since I've regressed, shouldn't I aim a little higher? Director Kim Young-hoon is a martial arts genius. He became a powerful warrior by mastering third-rate martial arts sold on the streets in just a few months. He gradually learned advanced martial arts to eventually become the #1 in the martial arts world of Yanguo. What if I taught him advanced martial arts from the beginning? I could advance the birth of the greatest swordsman by 30 years. And I would benefit as much as possible from his success. Director, this place actually has a world of martial arts and martial skills. Innocently doing business in such a place, we could end up being swept by the competition between martial sects at any time. Wouldn't it be better to learn at least some self-defense martial skills? That makes sense, he asked me, his face lighting up with excitement. But martial arts are usually not taught to outsiders, right? How can we easily learn them? Hearing about learning martial arts, Director Kim used a term from martial arts novels and his eyes sparkled. I just received 15 pieces of silver for one herb. Isn't there nothing that can't be solved with money? Of course, before that, you'll need to learn the language and characters. For the next 3 months, I taught Director Kim the language and characters while living off the money from selling one more herb. He seemed to relieve his depression from being separated from his colleagues in this strange world by learning with all his might. At the same time, I taught him a breathing technique called Cheonji, Heaven-Earth, Heart Method, a third-rate internal martial art, as a health exercise. And after 3 months, lately, I've been feeling a tingling sensation in my lower abdomen. Even though I just sit at home, I feel bursts of energy. Amazing. I could confirm Director Kim's incredible progress. Cheonji Heart Method, literally a basic internal martial art, focuses not on accumulating internal energy but on feeling it by establishing the foundation in the dantian. It took Director Kim only 3 months to feel the chi inside his body, which usually takes ordinary people 8 months with the Cheonji Heart Method. He has mastered the Cheonji heart method. At the same time, I felt a bit of self-deprecation. I took about 13 months to feel chi using the Cheonji heart method. This means I'm considerably slower than an average person. When it's only third-rate martial arts, the difference is only 4 times, but as we progress to higher-level martial arts, the gap between his talent and mine will become strikingly apparent. Well, since you seem to be getting the hang of the language and characters, let's look for a sect to join. Let's do that. Haha, are we going to learn martial arts now? While I spent 3 months teaching Director Kim letters and language, I researched the martial arts sects of Sukyang City in Yanguo. Demon Slaying Sect, Self-Binding Temple, Surpassing Birdhouse, Seven Mysteries Gate, Wolf Fang Gang, Dark Knight Association, and Dragon Fighting Stronghold are considered the 7 major sects of Sukyang City. I explained each of the sects to him. Demon Slaying Sect, Self-Binding Template, Surpassing Birdhouse, and Seven Mysteries Gate were classified as righteous sects. Wolf Fang Gang, Dark Knight Association, and Dragon Fighting Stronghold were famous unorthodox forces in Sukyang City. The 4 righteous sects and 3 evil sects were collectively referred to as 4 stars 3 demons in Sukyang City. The Demon Slaying Sect mainly practiced sword and blade techniques, Self-Binding Temple was a religious sect of Buddhism, Surpassing Birdhouse was an information organization like Halmoon, Korean Murim organization that consists of thieves, pickpockets, prostitutes, etc., and Seven Mysteries Gate had a long history and encompassed various martial arts. Wolf Fang Gang specialized in strong and practical fighting techniques, Dark Knight Association developed stealth and movement techniques through illegal activities in Sukyang City, and Dragon Fighting Stronghold primarily focused on unarmed fighting techniques. Director, which sect appeals to you the most? Regardless of the sect, Director Kim's talent would ensure his success. Without any hesitation, Director Kim made his choice. Demon Slaying. Let's go with the Demon Slaying sect. After all, swordsmanship for a heroic warrior, blade techniques for a man, is it not? Just like in his past life, he chooses the same path as his first martial art. A good choice indeed. The second coming of the greatest swordsman from my previous life. Together, Director Kim and I headed towards the Demon Slaying sect. The Demon Slaying sect's main branch was located in the eastern part of Sukyang City. Inside the large compound of the sect, loud shouts of energy could be heard. At the entrance, 2 warriors wearing swords and blades guarded the gate. Halt! What brings you to our sect? The guard warriors cautiously inquired, noticing the silk clothes we were wearing. This gentleman here is my elder brother. He has come to learn the martial arts of demon slaying, having heard of its reputation. The gatekeeper's eyes turned towards Director Kim, a middle-aged man with half-balding hair and a plump belly. I apologize, but at that age, it won't be easy to learn martial arts. Haha, still, let us talk to the higher-ups. Even basic self-defense martial arts would be fine. I gently smiled and replied. Although I mentioned self-defense martial arts, within a few months, they will be pleading with Director Kim to learn advanced martial arts on their own. The gatekeepers exchanged looks, sighed, and then opened the gate for us. Shortly after, Director Kim and I were facing the hall master of the Demon Slaying Hall, named Heo Bak. So, you wish to learn self-defense martial arts? Yes, if possible, the best self-defense martial arts. I handed over a prepared silk case to Heo Bak. It contained 15 of the 20 silver ingots I had acquired from selling all the yellow bamboo roots. Heo Bak opened the case, checked the silver ingots, coughed, and said, I will admit him as an outer disciple of the demon-slaying sect. If he wants, I can also teach a couple of our inner disciple martial arts. However, he will be treated as an outer disciple. There are no privileges for those who enter through donations. Also, we will only accept one of you as an outer disciple. NVELBIN, where adventures await between lines. Director Kim, surprised by the stingy offer, started to rise. I gently pressed his shoulder, stopping him, and replied to Hall Master Heo back. Thank you for the honor, Hall Master. That will be sufficient. As an outer disciple, my elder brother here will join. Then come to the Hall of External Disciples, shortly. Heo back left us with a dismissive gesture and went away. Kim Young-hoon, looking confused, said to me, Yoon-hyun, what's the point if I'm the only one learning martial arts? If I knew it would be this expensive, we could have just gone to another sect. No, it might be better for you to learn martial arts. No, you, being younger, would be more suitable for learning martial arts. I've always been bad at physical activities. I'll support you, Mr. Kim, with the remaining silver ingots through business. That's my job and my role. You just need to fulfill your role. But, after showing a slightly apologetic face, Kim Young-hoon decisively said, All right, if you say so, I too will do my best to learn martial arts and help you. It would be lucky if this old body can even learn the basics. Believe in yourself. Thank you. Thus, Kim Young-hoon became an outer disciple of the demon-slaying sect, learning a few outer disciple and 3 inner disciple martial arts as a privilege for his substantial donation. 7 months later, the demon-slaying sect was in an uproar. Finished, A Regressor's Tale of Cultivation, Chapter 4, Director Kim is a Martial Genius 1. Next, Chapter 5, Director Kim is a Martial Genius 2. Please consider subscribing. My goal is to reach 1K subs and get monetized so I can afford a better voice.